What is going on, everyone? I am DV, and as always, I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in for another all-new episode right here on Me and Mine TV. Now, ever since the introduction of the automobile, the coined term car enthusiast has been handed down from generation to generation. But here in 2016, the definition of a car enthusiast seems to be a bit watered down, seems to be a bit diluted. Because if I were to ask any of you, or the person down the street, or somebody over there, what is the definition of a car enthusiast? Chances are I would not get the same answer, because it seems that anyone who owns a car likes to label themselves a car enthusiast. But since this is my channel and I own a car and I consider myself a car enthusiast, I think my opinion is the best opinion to truly define what a car enthusiast is, because I've come up with 4 key traits that every person who considers themselves to be a car enthusiast must have. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the number 4 trait that every person who considers themselves to be an automobile enthusiast must have is basically the job application. This is what actually gets you in the door. It's actually what starts you on the bottom floor before you can actually consider yourself to be an automobile enthusiast. Because the number 4 trait that every car enthusiast must have is the trait of talking trash. Because let's be real here. If you are enthusiastic about anything, it doesn't matter if it's cars or sports or food or people or whatever, you have to be willing on the drop of a dime to talk trash. It's all in the sense of fun, but it's something we enthusiasts must have in any part of life that we are enthusiastic about. Because number 4 actually leads to number 3. Because talking trash isn't enough. Because nobody in the car world wants to be around, let alone hear a person talking trash who can't back it up. Because the number 3 trait that every person who considers themselves to be a car enthusiast must have is the desire to modify their cars. Because I've said it before and I will say it again. We are defined by our cars. Our cars let other people know exactly who we are. Because if we go to a track or a car show or a car gathering with our car looking stock as you know what, chances are we're going to get clowned. Because you don't have to go balls out with the modifications like I did with mine. You can simply tint the windows. Maybe dip the rims, maybe change the rims, maybe just put an air freshener in your freaking interior, or put a cold air intake, something. Change your windshield wipers, there we go. Something simple to let everybody know that this car is my car, that my car just doesn't blend in with everybody else, because my car is my car. But again, number 3 leads me right into number 2, because after you spend a lot of time and effort and energy, and of course money, molding and shaping and transforming your car into your own vision. Once that is done, what are you going to want to do? You're going to want to look at it, stare at it, enjoy it, take a bunch of pictures of it, post them up on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all the car forums that you're a part of. But every true car enthusiast goes a little bit further than that. Because at number 2, the number 2 trait that every person who considers themselves to be a true car enthusiast must do is something that I know I do. When we go out to eat, because we're human beings, we have to eat in order to survive. It doesn't matter if it's a fast food restaurant. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-star restaurant. When we park our car in that parking lot, we walk into that restaurant, what do we always do? We don't sit anywhere. We sit in a booth directly in view of our car, because we want to make sure that it's okay. So just in case the conversation with our date or friends or whatever isn't going well, we can eat and look at our car. We need to make sure that no dumbass is parked next to it. We got to make sure when people walk by, they stop and they stare. They maybe even whip out the phone, take a couple of pictures, maybe post them on their social media groups. Because we need to make sure after our car is molded to the way that we know that it's beautiful, that every single person who comes in view of our car knows just exactly how beautiful our car is. So now we've made it to number 1. Or as it's said in the Spanish language, uno, which is named after a game, which is very, very fun and very, very intense if you've ever played it. But we're here at the most important trait that every person who considers themselves to be a car enthusiast must do. Now, a lot of people are going to find this comical. A lot of people are going to find this funny. But the reason why they will find this comical and funny is because after I say this, they are going to realize that they themselves do it. Because the number 1 trait that every person who considers themselves to be a car enthusiast must have is you have to talk to your car. Because I know I do it every single time I'm behind the wheel, and especially when I'm on the track. When I'm behind the wheel on the track and I got a car in front of me, I will bash the gas like, come on, B, let's go faster. Because that's what a true car enthusiast does. It doesn't matter if you're on a track, doesn't matter if you're doing any fun-spirited driving. You could have a bad day driving home from work and sit there and talk to your car. Because we all know that we do it at some point in time in the ownership of our car. But here's the kicker. If you are a true car enthusiast, you know that when you talk to your car talks back. Now, the people in the passenger seat, they may not be able to hear it. Maybe the people in the back, they may not be able to hear it. But you being the owner and the driver of that car, know that when you talk to your car responds. The only question is, will it respond in the way and in the manner that you think it should? Because let's recap. If you don't talk trash, and if you don't mod your car, and if you don't show off your car, and if you refuse to talk to your car, can you really be considered to be a true car enthusiast? And since I define these rules, and this is my channel, the answer is no. And of course, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek. Thank each and every one of you for tuning this edition of Me and Mine TV. As always, do not be afraid to lend your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section and let me know if you agree or if you disagree with the 4 things that each and every person who considers themselves to be a car enthusiast must have. Thank each and every one of you for checking out this video. Stay tuned for my next upload.